Hello, everybody. In the astrological and not only in the astrological world, there is a lot of fuss about the comet that is actually becoming visible in the night sky, at least to people who have a good telescope or at least a binocle. The planet has a very strange name, so there is a lot of fear attached to it. It's called the devil's tail or the devil's horns. There are many names. So for astrology purpose, it is important to know if there's a comet coming into our solar system, and especially when it gets visible. So this is obviously a very particular moment since we are so close to the equinox. And what is more important, there is an upcoming eclipse on April 8th, and there is word that the comet might actually be visible. So what I'm doing here is to show you what the night sky was in Dallas. I take Dallas because Dallas was in the or is in the path of visibility of the upcoming eclipse. So if you switch on your Stellarium and go to the location, you will enter here Dallas. And so this is what you see if you have your markings, the ecliptic. I have also put the horizon and the equator. Now I want to see where actually the equinox took place. And for this purpose, I switch off the ground so I can, so to say, look beneath the earth. And I will see here that is where the eclipse took place. You can see the sun is here. Now we can switch it a little and zoom into it. So you can see the sun is exactly on the equator, right? So this is the moment of our equinox. So I zoom a little out of it and put my ground on, so this is easier to recognize. And what I will do now, we look south, and I will just turn a little the hours and make the sun come up, so it is just easier for us to observe it. What I do now is I turn the light off. Okay, now you can see the sun is culminating, and now I want to see where the comet actually is. So I go, first I have to bring the comet in, and you can do this with a plug-in. And then you go to solar system editor, configure, and then you can go to solar system and bring the planet in. There is a list, and you pick it and just configure the comet. This is how you make it visible. Now I have already done this, so I go to search, and here it is. The scientific name is 12P Pons Brooks. You click on it, and immediately you will see where this comet actually is. We can see it is in the constellation of Pisces. We are still talking about the equinox, so we are on the 20th of March. And now we want to look how well, we want to zoom into this comet, but because we can see this is actually, you can't even see a dot, so it is very faint. It's a lower magnitude, very improbable that you will see it by naked eyes. So then you can zoom into it. Just we want to understand what kind of comet this is, and it's pretty nice to see how it is losing its ice trail, right? So the comet is famous because it changes colors. It's getting blue and green and all kind of things. This must have to do with whatever the ice core is made of. So, but what we are interested in here is, will it get visible, and where does this comet move? Now, this Stellarium is obviously just an animation. We can't be 100% sure that it will exactly move as it shows. These are just animations and mathematical calculations, but let's say it will. So then I just switch my days, I go forward in time, because you see it is very faint on the equinox. So this is how it moves. We can barely see it. And now I go to the day. Now it enters Aries. This here is an important point because it crosses actually the ecliptic. And when it is on the ecliptic, just let me get a little bit more into it. So we switch 1 hour back, maybe 2. We can little find the time when it switches the ecliptic. Anyway, this is okay for now. And it's at 45 degrees on the ecliptic, where it enters actually our ecliptic. That would be 15 degrees Taurus. So, but now we go further, click through it, not the hours, the days. So on the day of the total solar eclipse, the comet is not yet on the ecliptic. There is a latitude. It would be 43 degrees on the ecliptic if we put it, if we align it, but there is 2 degrees latitude. However, that is perfectly okay. So we can say where it exactly is in our zodiac. And now we go further to the moment of the eclipse, which in dollars is 142. At that time, the sun is completely eclipsed. We can go and check that. You see, the moon is just overhead the sun, and the sun is eclipsed. You have to know that this eclipse is very particular because it happens just the day after the moon is perigee. So the moon is closest to the earth, and hence the moon appears bigger than usual, and hence covers completely the sun disk, the solar disk. This will be different in the October eclipse. There we will have an annual eclipse, which means that the moon is at her apogee and thus smaller, or appearing smaller than usual, and not able to cover the entire solar disk. So there will be a ring out of light coming out of it. But this is not the case here. So here the sun is covered by the moon. Now, at the time of the eclipse, people say, oh, we might see the comet. Well, yes, with telescopes, it will be visible. With naked eyes, I pretty much doubt it. Also because it is pretty close to Jupiter. Jupiter has a longitude of 49 degrees, while the comet has 43. So there is just very few degrees between them. It's like, what is it, 5 degrees. So that's what we can see from Dallas. It depends on interpretation. If you consider an invisible comet as important, yes or no. Ptolemy certainly considered all incoming bodies as very important, but they worked with visual astrology and astronomy. So I personally would give it importance, because we know with our measure systems that there is a comet, even we can't maybe not see it with naked eyes, but our instruments can tell. And it is particular that it is getting brighter around the eclipse. So yes, I would take notice of it, and I would look in the history of this comet. We know that it is a regular visitor of our planet, so it comes back every 71 years. So one method would be to just check what happened 71 years before, and maybe even other 70 years back, so we get an idea of the history associated to this comet. So I think that's enough for today. And just maybe you want to try out how you can install or plug in this comet into your Stellarium and go and see what happens. Bye bye.